the upcoming trip. Okay, perfect. Okay. So thank you for joining. This is Kris Kimball, and we're excited because Scott Palmer and Suzanne are with us, and they're taking us to Israel.
Oh yeah. Can't
Yes.
wait. I can't wait to get back
Yeah.
there. It's been a while.
Me for myself as well. 2019 was the last time I was there, and then because of COVID and travel, um, I've not been able to get back there since then. So
We were 2022.
Oh, were you?
Mhm.
Oh, wow. Okay, good. Well, I don't know if anyone on our group has been to Israel before, if this is first time for you, but I think you've really decided to do an amazing time because if you can get to these sites with our size of people, you're going to have a phenomenal tour because otherwise you're fighting crowds and your time at each site is limited because of all of the crowds that you have to fight through and get access to. And see, we aren't going to have that situation. So you're going to see a lot more than what most tours would see, wouldn't you say?
Yeah. And we have an Arab bus driver, Adele, right?
Yes.
And
Yes, Adele. He's
you
great.
guys are familiar
I
with him, right?
love Adele. I met him on a tour back in, I think it was 17 with a private family tour, and we had Adele for the first time. And he speaks amazing English, and most of the bus drivers over in Israel don't even speak English.
Yeah.
Okay, very, very limited. And he's very fluent and very
There you go. Okay, we have another one.
understandable.
Welcome.
Welcome. Thank you for joining.
And I just want to add a little bit more. Having an Arab bus driver is so important as we
Arab.
travel.
Somebody said that.
Oh, Arab. Thank you. Sorry. Arab bus driver. Because now the world will say West Bank. I don't like using that phrase West Bank. We'll use the phrase Judea and Samaria. And having an Arab bus driver will get us into what the world calls the West Bank and what we call Judea and Samaria. And that makes such a difference because typical tours that are bigger you'll get traded off to another driver to get you into Bethlehem or to get you to some other place that's considered West Bank. And so we'll be able to have access to a lot of places.
We will. Yes. Yes. Adele is very skilled and knowledgeable. And because of his nationality, he's got free reign to get us wherever we want to go. So that's going to be great.
Do you know if he's Christian?
I don't know.
Muslim.
Muslim, good.
Yeah.
Good,
Yeah.
good.
Well, do we want to do visa information? So the most critical thing I think for us to bring up is getting your visas into Israel because that's going to be done through email. And I don't know if Jill. Okay, so Jill has sent out a link. So that's going to be probably the number one thing on your checklist is making sure you have your visa and you've gone through the process.
Gone through the process. I got them within an hour or two, emailed back.
Oh, wow. Okay.
So it was 20 something shekels. I think it came out to 15. I can't remember.
$7.
What was it?
$7 a piece.
Yeah. What was that?
$7 a piece about.
A piece. Yeah. Yeah. Okay. So for Sue and I, and this is brand new. So this got sprung on us. This started in January. And I think they made ours start January 1 for some reason, even though I gave them different dates. They're good for 2 years. So you can join us in the fall again and not have to buy that again. Anyway, we'll need that to get it's supposed to be checked right at check-in at the airport.
At the airport. Yeah.
So make sure you get those. It's don't get sucked into some of the websites that will pop up that will charge you like $100 or $80 fee to do it for you. You can just get on the link that Jill sent. Any questions on that? We're okay?
Okay, good. we can do a couple of different things. We can go over itinerary, or you've got the travel booklet. Do you have
No,
any?
they don't have the trouble.
Oh, they don't.
I
Okay.
just finished it. this
So
afternoon.
Jill is going to be sending out a travel booklet,
Electronic version.
an electronic version, and so you'll have access to that, which will help you with your packing. And Scott talked about shekels. You actually won't need Israeli money when we're over there, because where we go and who we interact with, they will take American dollars. But
And you
you,
use your credit card 90%, if not more of the time, right?
a lot of the times, there might be some market areas where you won't want to, but I would recommend having a lot of ones, fives, and tens, because you will be bartering. Okay, and it's easier to barter with cash than it is a card. Okay, and so and make sure the bills are new. It's interesting how they really like to have fresh, clean bills. So not bills that are torn or folded over. And but if you can bring a lot of those, you'll be much better off when you're hitting the little market areas and doing some bartering. So those of you that are on with us, do you have any pertinent questions that you'd like to ask?
Make sure you unmute your mic on your end at the bottom. I think it's on the bottom left of your screen, probably.
I don't have any questions.
You don't have any questions? Okay.
I don't have any questions either.
Who's been there before? Anybody?
I have.
How long
So Brad,
ago?
you've been there, and who else?
I've been there. I got back in December.
Okay.
I went on the last tour.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
I remember hearing that. Okay, so
Oh,
you've
nice.
been there recently. Okay, awesome.
Yeah.
Wow. Well, good for you.
There were
That's
pictures
great.
of people.
Yeah, with the Pickerings. Okay.
Nice.
Yeah. So you know Adele.
I do. I do.
Yeah, he's great.
Yes.
I think travel wise, I'm just trying to think, the temperature that we're going to see over there, you'll be able to tell us a little bit more, but it's going to be milder, so you're going to want to make sure you're layered.
Who turned all this
Not
off
going
for
to have the heat.
Rams on a Bobcat? No.
Steven, can you,
Now I know.
Steven, would you mute? We're hearing your audio.
Oh, sorry.
But it can
I-
rain. This time of year, we can get into kind of a rain season. I was there in February, 5 or 6, 7 years ago, and we had a lot of rain. And so we can always check your weather app before we leave and kind of just get a preview. But I wouldn't be surprised if it did rain, but I know that the weather is just a little bit cooler this time of year. Not cold, but just cooler is all.
So it's
Very
kind of, if you're
comfortable.
familiar with St. George, it's really similar to St.
Yeah.
George.
Yeah.
It's about the same latitude and it's about the same elevation. So,
Yeah.
I don't know, well, Jerusalem and the hill country is about the same elevation. When we're down to the Dead Sea, in that area, it's going to be probably 10 degrees or so warmer than what it will be in Jerusalem in that area.
Yeah, and talking about the Dead Sea, you'll want to make sure you bring a water shoe of some sort to just walking out into the water. There are rocks, be a little uncomfortable. So if you have a water shoe, that's very helpful. We're at a different hotel this time than usual, but before we had,
Still, I'm okay. That same one.
yeah, they had robes for us, but if they don't, they should have towels that we can take over to the Dead Sea area, and that's going to be a lot of
And I would
fun.
say, like, morning and evenings. Do it.
Yeah, and we should
Oh,
be
no.
able to do an evening and get up early and do a morning.
2 nights.
Oh, 2 nights. Yeah, so we'll have plenty of
Lots of
time
options.
to be in the Dead Sea and partake of all those wonderful minerals, and we'll be younger when we get home.
Oh, yeah. Feels so good. And now, as far as water shoes and things like that, we have an opportunity if the group wants to do Hezekiah's Tunnel, the water version of that. There's also a dry tunnel that if those that don't want to go through, it's not physically difficult, but there's a couple of parts that you'd be close to your knee, maybe just below your knee. The rest of it's more like above your ankle, but there are a couple of spots that it gets a little bit deep. It's incredible. And if you haven't done it, it's pretty awesome.
Yeah.
And the city of David, where we start from on that, is incredible. And thank you. Bring a headlamp for the tunnel, and water shoes. You can roll up your pants if you want, or pull your skirt up at it. But I don't know. I've done it like 2 or 3 times, and I think I'll probably pass.
I'll do it.
And do
I'll
some
do it,
studies.
yeah.
So these guys might want
You'll
to do
do,
it.
yeah.
Okay, I'll do it.
It's really,
I found out I'm good at it.
it's kind of it's really an engineering
It's amazing.
feat that you're thinking 700 BC.
Yeah.
They're carving from 2 different ends, and they hook up. I mean, it is amazing.
And it empties out into the pool of Siloam, which is incredible. And there's a whole new archaeological dig there that I don't think any of us have even seen yet, that goes the pilgrimage path up to the Temple Mount. And we're going to be able to see all that excavation as you come out of the tunnel. So this is cool.
Yeah.
Talk about Sunday.
Okay, now some of you feel compelled to have, does somebody have a question? No,
I was,
we're planning on going to church at the Jerusalem Center on Saturday, which is Shabbat. It's the Sabbath. However, I'm recommending to not take dress clothes. It's especially for guys, it's a big hassle. But if you feel compelled to dress up, then by all means. I'm not going to be. They'll take you the way you come.
Yes.
Right?
Yes, absolutely.
Yes.
They are happy to welcome you
Yeah.
in any attire. Yeah.
And you're gonna be going off to the next
And
one.
we'll be going off to the next thing after. But you know what? I'm not going to tell you what to do. We're all adults, but I'm just telling you, I'm not going to be dressed up. I'll have, good stuff on, but I'm not going to be
But you'll want to make
suit and
sure
tie.
your shoes are good walking
Walking
shoes. Because we'll be going from
Mount
the Mount of Olives down to Gethsemane. So
Yeah.
that's going to be a good little walk. So you're going to want to make sure your shoes are very practical, well-soled,
That's where I want to start.
comfortable walking shoes for that portion of it. So.
Now, Brad, I don't know if you want to say anything about the possibility that we may have of having Shabbat on Friday night, a dinner with a Jewish family. This would be really, really awesome. Some of you may not want to participate, but I would suspect our group is small enough that it would really be something. Brad, do you want to speak onto that a little bit?
sure. Yeah, when I was in Jerusalem a couple years ago now, we were hosted by an Orthodox Jewish family. The father worked for the government there locally, and it was the most profound experience that I had on the trip. Even though I loved the sights, being in the home of a Jewish family and experiencing the practice of their Shabbat and the music and the Father's blessings and everything that happened was truly, truly profound. So I've asked if they'd be willing to host us, and they would. So the only question that I have, Scott, is as I understand that there'll be 14 of us in the party. Is that still true?
15 with Kris.
15 total.
15 total, okay.
even with the one person.
We just
It
backed
was
out.
16.
Okay, so yeah, is that too
Yeah.
many?
No, 15's fine. And do we know of any dietary restrictions that anyone has on the tour?
I can look.
We're
No,
gonna
no,
check
you know
that.
what? No one's, I don't, and everyone said nothing.
Okay, we haven't had anyone report unless somebody on the call right now
Wants to say
has an allergy or.
none.
How about can we compensate this good family somehow by us bringing, paying? I know some people are touchy about that, but we certainly would like to reciprocate, right?
Right.
Sure, yeah, we'll provide some sort of compensation for them.
Perfect. We'll just plan on giving it to you and you can give it to them. How's that?
Okay. One, I don't know, we have planned right before Shabbat, Friday evening, but when we were there, we went to the Western Wall right at the beginning of Shabbat, and that's just amazing to watch all of them coming there.
Yes.
I think we want to do that.
That we kind of had that on the plan, and that's why we're trying to figure out, will we need to kind of set up some taxi Uber to get to
No,
where this
we
is
stay at the, oh,
for the
sorry,
dinner?
yes.
Yeah. Like if we go to the Western Wall as a group
Yeah,
and then go to Shabbat to the dinner, would we need, can we walk? What do you think we'll need? Yeah.
we'll need transportation. So
Okay.
if we've lost our bus driver at that point, then yeah, we'll need to get some Ubers.
We'll figure it out. Where all the taxis hang out is pretty close to that anyway.
Is there, with dress, is there any expectation with dress for that?
There was only one woman in my group, and I'm trying to remember. Yeah, I don't know. I'll ask.
Okay, yeah, it might be good to know if there's certain, if they want like long, clothing to the ankle or.
Sure.
I
I'll
don't
find.
know.
Their heads covered.
Yep.
Yeah.
Probably have to have this.
Cause I know a lot
Yeah,
of
do we need
times.
our own yarmulke?
Yeah,
Bring your own yarmulke.
Yeah.
BY, yeah.
Bring the little paper when you get at the wall.
Yeah, there you go.
Right.
There you go. That's a good idea. That's a good idea.
Well, if that can happen, I would be thrilled.
I think we'd be so excited if you
Yeah.
can pull that off.
Great. Yeah, we'll make it happen.
So we've had a couple of others join us. Are there
Thank
any
you.
questions that you have about the upcoming tour? Are we all meeting at the Salt Lake Airport?
Not all,
Okay.
No.
a good group.
But at the airport, we're only a couple hours off in Tel Aviv, right?
Mhm.
So in Tel Aviv, this is going to be kind of crazy, and I love it because we are leaving. We're all within an hour or two of arriving. So we're gonna Adele will pick us up at the airport, and we'll all just congregate there. We'll get on, and then we start. We'll head to Joppa right then. We're not going to a hotel motel to chill or anything, because the best thing to do is hit the ground running anyway. And I know most of you have probably traveled internationally, and you just assimilate the first day you're there. You just push through it. And if you get some rest on the plane, that's a good thing. But that doesn't always work for everybody. But just plow through it, and then then you'll sleep well that night. And well be in Tiberias. Where will we
First
be?
night in town,
Natanya.
on the Mediterranean.
On the Mediterranean. We'll be on the Mediterranean the first night. And so we'll get the rest and everything we need, but we'll have a good full day right off the bat. That'll be awesome.
I'd like to say something. I've been to Israel where my baggage didn't arrive.
Mm.
And so when you are on the airplane, don't wear your cute outfit that you think's really cute and nice to travel in, unless it's very comfortable. Wear something that you will get off the plane and be able to just travel automatically in, along with shoes.
And I always have an extra outfit.
And
the carry-on
and, yeah,
underwear.
and
Backpack.
and extra,
Ready to go.
just underwear at least, and facial, whatever, or toothbrush. Because it's really, I was in Israel for 4 days without anything. And
Yeah.
it was fine, but it wasn't fun.
I'm affirming we're gonna be fine, but I do know we have a 1 hour connection in Paris. And so when I saw that, I thought, okay, hopefully that's gonna be plenty of time to get from one plane to the next one. But
It
we'll
will
be
be tight.
affirming.
It will be tight.
It's gonna be tight, but we're affirming that's not gonna be a problem. But Suzanne brought up a good point. It's good to have a couple of extra spare items in your carry-on bag, just for that reason.
And who should we contact if en route or plane's delayed, we just need to let you know?
You would be contacting Legacy Tours, Jill. We won't have our phone until we actually land in Paris, and we can turn our phones on. But
I'll send my number out.
yeah, and then if you want to write down my number for your phones, I'm 801-557-6003. And Scott,
801-541-3355.
I will send those out.
But Jill will send those out to you, but if you just want them now,
Are we gonna do
Yeah.
a group me?
Yeah.
Yeah,
we will
start
do,
the-
yeah, that's a good,
we'll do
the
WhatsApp.
WhatsApp,
We'll
yeah.
do a WhatsApp when we get,
okay.
or we can start it now.
We'll start
Okay,
it before.
okay, we'll start a WhatsApp too. That's a great idea.
Yeah, that's a great way for us to communicate as a group. It does take Wi-Fi to post, but once you're at the hotel, but a lot of times we'll put tour information for the next day on that. It's a great way for you to post pictures and still communicate. I mean, we're going to be talking back and forth, and
At least one person at the party.
I recommend one person, but you'll find I even got my husband Dave finally on the WhatsApp on our last tour
People can share pictures.
because he was feeling like he was missing out on some fun stuff.
Oh, so cute.
So, yeah, it's a great way to connect and get to know each other in the group, and also get tour information or communicate with us that way. Right. Okay, so
Right now, we've got a Leonardo, but it's in private gallery, but she's gonna be. But not in Jerusalem.
that's the only place we don't have dinners.
Well, and then the very first night.
Okay, so normally on our Israeli tours, the cost of the tour includes breakfast and dinner. But because we are going during a big off season, the hotels cannot accommodate dinners because they don't have the numbers to make it feasible for them. And so we've got a night in Jaffa and then our nights in Jerusalem where we're going to be on our own for dinner, which means we would just be, the hotel itself may have a restaurant to eat in, or we'll be eating in the city. But what were we gonna do on that?
So I think, well, I have budgeted like $20 per person
Okay,
for those nights.
so
I don't
we
know
are,
exactly.
You should
Yeah.
be right sitting.
we are going to be, the nights that we don't have dinner covered, you're going to be getting $20 per person to cover your dinner expenses. And we'll be figuring out exactly the best way that we'll do that, whether we,
We're not paying for your alcohol though.
Yeah.
Just to put it right out there. Sorry.
That's good.
I mean,
I think it's so good to just clear those things up right away.
I
It's
don't know,
not, it's not an open bar anywhere.
Yeah.
I'm Jill. Sorry, I've been whispering
She's behind
over
the
here.
scenes. Yeah,
Yes,
These two own Legacy Tour.
and I'll take the hit for the technical difficulties. So sorry. Started that Zoom meeting and then clicked right out of it, not intentionally. So
that's
sorry.
fine. She saved us. She still got us back on, so.
Yeah, I was saying, sorry about the dinners. that's just, we're gonna have to adapt. Old City shouldn't be hard. They have lots of places to
Right.
eat, and we will work with our guides in the hotel, getting us connected. Lunches, you're on your own as well, but generally we go to, they'll take us to a place that's used to handling tourists, and it's shawarma or falafel or schnitzel.
So yummy.
It's all
Yeah.
good. It's all good.
It's all good. So you
And on
come,
the Mediterranean, you get the Mediterranean food. It's
they
all
do.
just
They're very good fresh
Delicious.
all so good.
vegetables
Yeah.
and generally $20 is, at least the last time I was there, everything was $20, and they would take the $20 bill. It would US. You didn't need to change to shekels. And so dinner, I think, will be the same way. You're gonna have about those same options, and about $20. We would share, my husband and I, wasn't a ton of food, but we would, you know, if we had a big breakfast, we could share on a meal sometimes. It'll just depend on.
You might want to bring some snacks like protein bars. You'll get so sick of them. I can guarantee you'll go home with a bunch or you'll give them away. But it's good to have. It's good to have them. If you have one that you really like, I'd take a few
Well,
of them with you.
And
So,
if you get to a point, if you're somebody that has to watch your blood sugar, sometimes lunch could maybe be staggered an hour later than what we normally would consider eating at. So it's not a bad idea to have something to just kind of keep your sugar levels up, or your metabolism at a good place. So it's always good to have something with you like that. But no, we'll make sure you have access to food. This is not a pilgrimage where you're going to be fasting, but it's just different because usually you get these 2 meals a day over there, which is wonderful. But under the circumstances, that second meal isn't going to be available for us at all the sites that we go to.
But Galilee will, I mean, you're out in the middle of nowhere, so if they didn't provide food, I don't know, you'd be fishing. And the Dead Sea as well does not really have options. So, but both of those hotels have said they provide food for
Sweet.
dinner.
nice.
So who has recently been to, when you were with the
Pickerings.
Pickerings, there we go.
Yeah,
Did you stay inside the old city? Yeah, they said-
yes, by Jaffa Gate.
Okay, did you love that?
Yeah, it was good. It
Yeah.
was very convenient to
Do
go
you-
all the places.
For those of you that have never, I've been to Jerusalem numerous times, and to stay inside the city walls is amazing. It's so convenient, and you're going to see so much more of the city, and we can get up early for those that want to, and go early to the Church of the Holy Sepulchre, where they start their masses at 5 in the morning and 5:30, something like that. And it's just a short walk from there, and it's quiet. You don't have well, I don't think we're gonna have big crowds anywhere, but it's just kind of cool to have the city to yourself that early in the morning.
It is a little bit an older hotel,
Okay.
and the hot water is spotty
Warm.
sometimes.
The hot water's warm.
No, it's really hot,
Oh, it's very hot. Okay.
Oh.
so you have to, it's to find that sweet spot, but it is good. It was very nice.
Okay. Yeah, that's great. Thanks, Fiona. I'm mentioning water. The bus will have water. We'll have to talk to Adele, probably for sale, $1 a bottle. You can buy it on the street, usually about $1 a bottle. Again, they'll take the US dollar. But the water is safe to drink. They'll tell you about how they desalinate their water. And
You can brush your teeth. It's not a
And even
problem.
drink it from the,
Yeah.
fill your water bottles
Yes,
if you care to.
Yeah.
Israel's fine.
Yeah.
Israel is fine on water, so that's good. Now we're kind of into our final few minutes on the Zoom, and I'm wanting to just know if you have any questions that's popped up that you want us to answer in our final few minutes, or we'll just continue with what we want to share.
I have a question.
Okay.
I have heard Scott talk before about packing a little folding chair that he can just set up. And I was wondering if that's a good idea for us to bring something so that if we're somewhere, we can just put it out and then fold it back up when we're walking again.
Great question. Sue, what do you think? Do you think it's worth it?
Oh, you think?
Yeah.
We had a sister traveling with us. She was in her 70s. So she had the kind that's like a cane and she loved it. She did really need to sit. If that's the situation you're in, then perhaps that would be helpful. But she was always trying to make sure she could fit it up on the bus and kind of.
They are a bit of a
Fiddle
hassle
with it.
when you have them, they're great. But I think with our small group and with less crowds, I think the places where we'll do our, I like to call them faith teachings, we'll find places for us to sit. So unless you have a special need, I wouldn't worry about it. That's my gut.
And
That's my guess.
Okay.
yeah, and we're not going to have big long lines
Yeah.
to be worried about.
Yeah.
We're going to be kind of breezing in and out, I think. We're
Yeah.
going to have
Great
more.
question though. That's a
Yeah.
good one.
All right. Well, thank you.
Make sure you have a converter for the power. If you've traveled internationally, you know what I'm talking about. It'll have, I think Israel's the two-prong, I think. Yeah. And they're cheap. You can get them
Walmart.
in Walmart.
Amazon.
Anybody has them.
Yeah.
And they're great. And they'll have USB plugs in them as well. So you'll plug it into the wall and then you can charge your phone. I always take a little battery,
External.
lightweight external battery too, just in case. There'll be Wi-Fi and make sure you check with your phone provider that you have the international plan or
The
whatever.
calling plan, right?
Yeah, thank you.
Yeah, because you don't want to get a huge bill because you left your phone on and your phone's roaming overseas and all of that. So make sure you get on a calling plan. Make sure you notify your bank and tell them you're traveling. So when they see charges, they'll understand that those charges are okay, even though they're coming from Israel now. So that's always good to give them a heads up. And again, where I see people have the most drama is they run out of American money. Or they've got big bills, they've got a $50 bill. And so just, if you'll bring a lot of 1s, 5s, 10s, and a few 20s, a lot. I'm saying a lot, yeah.
Because you can take them home with you.
Exactly, yeah.
But if you run out there, then you're trying to find a bank and you're worried about exchange rates and yada, yada, yada.
Some of you might know Jimmy. He's an
Oh, yeah.
icon here in Utah. He has a shop. He has a warehouse down by Jericho, and then a storefront in outside right in Jerusalem, really. But we'll be stopping at his warehouse down by Jericho. That's the plan anyway. And so you'll have opportunities to buy the olive wood nativity scene, statues of Christ, all kinds of things. It's awesome, beautiful, beautiful works, jewelry. That'll probably be the main place we go, but you'll see all kinds of shops. But Jimmy will ship to your home, and it always comes. It's good.
And you can pay with credit cards.
And you can pay with credit card there. So we'll make sure you get a chance to do that if you want to do that. We like to help Jimmy out, and he's a good soul. How about tip for the bus driver and anything like that?
And that is in the packing and travel information. It'll also be in the tour booklet. But yeah, tips are very much appreciated for the driver and guides.
Yeah. Well,
And
the other thing I just want to say,
Yeah.
sorry,
No.
is just make sure that you don't get so hung up on the itinerary, because we are going to be so flexible. We might be cramming more things in. We have a lot of places that I want to get to if we have time. So we're going to get to the main sites, the main things. We're going to have just an awesome. But if we have an extra hour, we're going to go. We're going to go to Samuel's tomb, for instance. That's about 7 miles north of Jerusalem. It's to me, it's like I'd really like to get there, but it's not on the list. So we'll have a lot of these kind of things. So don't look at that and go, oh well, how
Right.
come? Anyway.
Yeah. That's, no, it's gonna be a
It will
fun
be, Dustin.
adventure. It is.
Oh, it's gonna be so
Yeah.
good.
We're excited to take you over there, and I'm excited to go with such a small intimate group. It's gonna be
Yes.
that's the best way to go.
I'm sure you'll think of questions. Please email them to me, or we'll start that WhatsApp probably in about a week, and you can ask questions there. The tour booklets will come out, and they'll have even more information. So you can look through those.
Okay,
I do have a question.
Okay.
go.
Oh, my question kind of stems off of stuff being shipped back home. Will there be opportunities to be able to do that in different locations that we're in?
Most stores may, most stores
Yeah.
probably won't.
Yeah.
Old city stores won't.
That's
The
right.
nicer stores will, and
Yeah.
you'll pay for it. But they are used to that. They're used to the American or the traveler saying, "Oh, I can't fit it in my luggage."
Right.
So they definitely want to solve that problem for you. We'll ship it for you if you find a nice chess set, or you have, I don't know, something
Yeah.
really heavy you don't want to take home. They
Yeah.
often they will ship it, and to guarantee, who can guarantee that it'll come? None of us can, but they want to make you happy. So
Good
Okay,
question.
thank you.
Yeah,
rugs, that would be another one.
I'm so excited to meet y'all and just, it's gonna be so fun. We're gonna have a great time together.
Okay.
Thanks for doing this.
Yeah.
Okay,
All right.
think
We'll
we're
sign
it.
off, and
Yeah.
apologies to those who didn't make it but are going to get the recording.
Yes. And shalom.
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 So,
Okay, love y'all. We'll talk soon.
Bye-bye.
Okay.
All right.
Short and sweet. You know what was so sweet in Cambodia? They all.
Oh, yeah.
Men, women.
Really?
I'm like, oh my gosh, that was just the sweetest thing. They're just so sincere and